My name's Wendy Tobin, and I am born and raised in Southern California. Actually, grew up in the Inland Empire, lived for quite a while in Orange County, and then came to the Murrieta area to raise my kids. I am 55 as of this last March. And at this stage of my life, my kids are getting ready to fly the coop. And my son's looking at going into the Coast Guard. He graduates next week, actually, graduating high school. And my daughter is looking at going into the Navy for search and rescue. And right now she's at a surf camp in Costa Rica. So I am transitioning out of being a full-time mom into my next chapter of life. I had just gone through a really difficult transition with a relationship that was very important to me, blowing up and failing. And it really rocked my world. And I realized at that point that I needed to work on myself. And I needed to have value within myself. And I realized that all my life, I really thought it was selfish to love yourself. I looked at it as an egotistical thing, like being self-centered and all about me and look at me and me. And so I always put my focus on helping others and pouring myself into others. And so finally something clicked that I needed to figure out who I am and what I like and what my passions are. And so I thought about it. What am I going to do to focus on myself? I'd been listening to a lot of podcasts and self-improvement things because I love that. And they were all talking about how you need to do something for you and have your own passions and be living your best life. And so I thought about dancing, salsa dancing. I've wanted to do that. Or do I want to paint? I have a little bit of artist in me. What do I want to do? And then it hit me. The one thing I really wanted to do was really get ripped at this stage of my life. And I started working on that, and I'd been going to the gym for a couple of years, but I'd hit a plateau. So I thought, I'll get a trainer. So I tried a trainer out at the gym, and he was great. And he was working with me, and he's like, have you ever thought about bodybuilding? And I had seen some women a couple years ago, and they were like in their 60s and 70s, and they were bodybuilders. And I saw their YouTubes, and it was so motivating and encouraging to see that people could look like that at that age, because I want to rock the second half of my life. And so I said to him, no, isn't that expensive? And he's like, well, you can do it locally. And there's this group that comes to the gym here, and I just think you'd really like them. And he's like, the next time they're here, I'll introduce you. And literally, it was like a half hour later, I'm on the elliptical, and he brings you over, and you get on the elliptical next to me, and we just started talking for like an hour, and there was this incredible connection and energy, and everything just felt meant to be. And I had really been praying about the direction for my life, and I just know that God brought you guys into my life, because I wasn't even, everything just fell into place. It's not like I was seeking out to be a bodybuilder. I just wanted to get really fit. And one thing led to another, and here I am. You know, I honestly can't say I knew what the expectation was, except that you guys seem to have the full package, because the things that I realized I needed to work on within myself, when you introduced me to the journaling assignments, and I got on the first Wednesday, Wednesday, I think it was, it's all the stuff that I needed to shift inside of me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm just talking about getting ripped. And here's this package that's going to give me the tools to make the shift I need to make that I haven't known how to do. And they're going to coach me and hold me accountable and speak into my life. And then I've got you and Saya and Kimani and the nutrition plan that came into it. And that was the other thing I couldn't ever dial in, is the macros. And I probably wasn't eating enough, and my meals were way too spaced out. And so Um, so it really blew my expectation out of the water. I didn't know what to expect, but when I found out all of the different things that it encompassed, I just I just felt like I won the lottery, to be honest. Yeah.
So what was the mindset like before the program and now?
The mindset before the program, I literally was in a heartbreak place. So I was really sad. I was still trying to accept the fact that this relationship that I thought was going to be the one wasn't going to be. And on top of that, my kids were leaving. I have to sell this house that I've lived in and raised my kids in. And just so many things that were changing that were kind of scary, honestly. And now, through all of the work that I've been doing and the coaching, and I look at this as getting strong from the inside out, because it's not even about like the tools are the workouts and the food, and we're doing it through health and fitness, but it's the internal strength that's being built where now it's the craziest thing that's happened, to be totally honest. I am literally excited to let go of my home. I'm excited for my kids' journey, and I know they're my best friends and we're going to always be close. I'm excited to see what the next journey and chapter is going to have in it. And I have this angst inside of me that tells me good things are coming, and I don't quite know what they are. And so I'm also learning not to jump ahead and try to figure it all out, and just to receive what's coming to me, stay present in the moment. And that's something I've never been good at. And each day I'm getting better. Every day I'm improving. And so my mindset is drastically shifting. And when challenges come up, I'm able to regulate my emotions much better and move through them in a healthier way, keeping that mindset. The journaling, the check-ins, the Sunday coaching sessions, because I've been able to be honest and vulnerable. And in those moments where I am struggling, you have spoken truth and reminded me to go back to who I am. And so that has been huge. And then the community that we're in, every single member of the royal family has been positive and done nothing but speak life into each other. There's no, oh, look at you and look at me, and there's no backbiting, there's no gossip. It's just people will stop their workout to help me with my posing practice and take time when they're prepping for their own thing to come alongside and help me. And it's just felt like this tight-knit group of people that genuinely care about each other and come together. And there's been such a balance too with all the coaches, because you guys all have your different areas of where you excel in your knowledge and strength, and the balance of how that's spread out and then brought to each member has just been beautiful. It felt different than I had expected. So I heard all the cheering in the audience. It was a little overwhelming, and it was super exciting to be out there. And just the fact, honestly, that I stepped out there this stage of my life, I've been wanting to get over myself and not worry about what other people think, and just to be able to be myself and be so good with it and so comfortable in my own skin. And so stepping out on that stage in those heels, in that little suit, was so out of my comfort zone of Miss flip-flops and jean shorts, and homeschooled my kids and ran homeschool programs and taught kids. It's so outside of all of that that it was really empowering, honestly. And I've been wanting to embrace my femininity in this stage of my life, and also be strong but not overbearing. And I feel like this is helping me achieve not just the get fit and chiseled, but to be able to get over myself and to do really hard things, to build resilience, because it took a lot of work and a lot of discipline and sacrifice and time. I work full time. I've got kids. I've got a house that I try to maintain. And so it takes sacrifice to do that. And I love the opportunity to do really hard things because I know every day I'm getting stronger. And so stepping out on that stage was a huge accomplishment. No matter where I placed, I won as soon as I stepped out on that stage. And now I know what to expect. So for me, I'm a competitive person, but I'm not a sore loser. But I am competitive. So if I get out there and I see areas where I need to get better, I'm like, okay, I'm like all on it, like a fly on crap. And I'm gonna go for it and watch me when I come back. And I'm just gonna keep doing that. And so I'm really excited to improve and to get more comfortable where I look like I'm actually comfortable up there and it just flows. And then I really want to learn physique and I want to grow my muscles stronger. And I'm so passionate about this. The biggest thing I want to do is something that has always been my purpose, but how the purpose is manifested in my life changes in the different seasons. And my purpose is I want to leave a legacy. I want to touch lives in a way that carries on once I'm gone. I don't want my life when it's over, because our life is really, it's this vapor. It's here one day, it's gone the next. It seems big and long while we're in it. But if you look at the span of time, it's really just, it's that little dash between when you're born and when you leave this world to go be with your maker. And I want my dash to count. And I want it to not be for nothing. I want to fulfill the purpose God has for my life. He's put a passion in me for health and wellness. He's put a passion in me to be a light and to speak life into others that are hurting. I've had years of different traumas and pain and health struggles that I have come through, and I always said I was going to be the healthiest 80-year-old running marathons. But now I think I'll be the 80-year-old bodybuilder instead. So that's what I'm going for, and I feel like I've found the vehicle to do that. How exactly it's all going to look, I don't know. I'm taking it day by day, but I have a passion, and I'm so excited that even if it's one person that sees this video that's like, wow, if she can do it, I can do it. Because it was me seeing a lady's video that thought, wow, if it's possible to look like that, I want to look like that at that age. I want to be healthy and strong like that. I'm not going to do the normal grow old and sit in a rocker. I'm going to stay fit. I'm going to be active. I'm going to be there for my grandkids. I want to still travel. I want to swim in the ocean. I want to skydive. I want to climb Mount Fuji. And I want to make a difference to not just live for the moment and be short-sighted, and that she had value. She was so valuable, and it doesn't matter what other people think because you know who you are. And so for my younger version, I wish I had known who I am, but on the other hand, I wouldn't be here having this conversation in this journey if I had. So what I do know is that younger me that didn't understand that is what has allowed me to go through so much and learn so much so that I can be this version of myself and accomplish all God has for me in this season of my life. So I try to speak that into my kids though now. No matter where you're at in life and how big the obstacle in front of you looks, you just have to take it one step at a time. There was a book that's really good called Atomic Habits, and it's just those little micro changes. You just make one little change today that's manageable that you can keep making, and then you stack onto that and you stack onto that to start changing the lifestyle. But then bigger than that is the work that just needs to be done from within, is realizing that you were created in God's image and you're beautiful and you're valuable and you have an eternal value. You have a soul within you that has so much value and you are a beautiful person. And so starting to believe that and own that and speak words of truth and life to yourself every day is the beginning of realizing your own value. And that internal change in your mindset is what really allows you to be able to make the external changes.